Welcome to Research Business Daily Report, where market researchers come for news, insights, and commentary about their field. And we provide them with knowledge and assorted other valuable pieces of information that impact them both personally and professionally in and out of their current place of work. On RBDR today, C-suite mentor Stacey Hanke explains why, as technology makes it easier for us to communicate widely, it simultaneously is making it almost impossible for leaders to influence others. RBDR is sponsored today and all this week by Socratic Technologies, a true leader in survey gamification as well as other cutting-edge engagement capabilities. If you have an upcoming corporate research meeting, we've got a great opportunity for you. You can invite Socratic Chairman Bill MacElroy to come and make a presentation to your organization about the most up-to-date engagement techniques. He'll also delve into ways to make your surveys more respondent-friendly, which is to say, more entertaining and more interesting for your respondents. Bill's respondent engagement presentation will be adapted to fit your organization, but you will great benefit out of it because his insights are not only tremendous, but they're free. That's right, there's no charge to you for him to come and speak. I have heard him speak many times over the years, and he never fails to enthrall me with insights and new pieces of information about things in research that are just not generally known. Now, we've got an email address for you to contact Bill if you would like to take him up on this invitation. It is seminars@sotech.com, as you can see on your screen. You can become one of the lucky businesses who gets the opportunity to hear from Bill. And again, I promise you'll engage your audience very, very strongly. And by the way, you who make the invitation to Bill will get the credit for having thought of inviting him to present to your group. Stacey Hanke is the author of the new book, Influence Redefined. But for our purposes, her compelling message is that people who are trying to influence, whether they are customers, team members, or investors, just aren't paying attention to you. Now, that's probably not very surprising. Every day, Stacey says, we're trying to influence always connected, digitally distracted, multitasking individuals. So if you are not more engaging and compelling than the digital distraction, you and your message will lose every time in trying to get their attention. Now, I don't think there's many among us who spend enough time considering how difficult it is to break through the clutter in our email, in our social media, and in other digital communication capabilities that we opt to use. So, we were privileged to speak to Stacey about the difficulty of breaking through the morass and all the distractions that we know exist. The angle of your book that got my immediate attention, because I think for our viewers, one of the ongoing questions is, how do you get past the so-called digital distractions that are out there every day that impede a business person's ability to break through the clutter and to get the attention of the people they want to pay attention to?
And that's exactly what it is. It's the clutter, right? And influence, one of the build up to your question is, the way I define influence is having the ability to influence someone long after the interaction has occurred, which means you've got to stand out from the noise. One thing I always tell my clients is, first take a step back before you send the message. Make sure that the medium you're using is the right medium to grab attention. So let's say it's email, for example. If you just think about how many emails you've received already today, it's the subject line. Grab that subject line to grab their attention. When someone opens up the email, is it a lot of text? There's no white spaces and it's hard to follow. It's long-winded. It takes forever to get to the point. It's really making those messages clear and concise.
So some examples that you could give us of really effective subject lines would be things like?
I've used things like, when is a good time for us to connect? I used one, I don't want to sit on your doorstep. That one works, I'd say 9 out of 10 times for me. I also will take whatever is the key takeaway that I know is really important to this client and I'll put that key takeaway in the subject line. I'll tell you, Bob, the subject line is the last thing that I complete in the whole email template before I hit send. The second last thing is I insert the sender's email address. Because how many times probably you have too, you complete the subject, you insert the email address, you hit send, and it's like slow motion. No, I don't want to send it. I wasn't ready. It's taking a look at that piece. Another step is, because our technology is so diverse, is take a look at the other mediums that you could use. Is it sending a video with your message? And we do that a lot at my company. It's simple, it's different. How can that not grab attention? And we've got proof because we get responses. Another one is, all right, if it's not the email, but you'd love to just talk to them live, it's tough though to grab their attention when they're on the phone. Why not offer a Skype call like we're doing today, a Zoom call? The benefit of all the technology, Bob, that we have is if we use it right, we could use it to make sure that we're memorable.
One of your key thoughts is that to be influential, you shouldn't just be thinking about how you talk, but how you also listen to the person you're talking to.
Huge. How many times have we all been guilty? You're a participant on a call. The person on the call is dry. They're boring, perhaps. You're just not interested. Now, if you know the person is like that, your mentality when you have come to that call is, I might as well bring email. I am going to get a chance to catch up on all my email. Here's the challenge with that. Listening is such a big part of determining the level of influence that you have, that if you're not listening, if you're not interactive on that call, how can you expect people to do it to you? I think people behave how we behave, how people respond to us, and vice versa. So even if you're in a meeting, I've seen it so many times where I'm observing a leader in a meeting and half of their team is down, I call it in their smartphone prayer. Their heads are buried in their technical gadgets, and I'm thinking, your reputation is still being created here. We forget that the silence messaging is still part of, are you influential or are you not?
Okay. And finally, if you could point out 3 really basic and simple things that somebody can do to break through, again, the digital distraction, what would those be?
And this is going to sound, the listener's going to think, wait, this is kind of opposite. Besides what I've just given you, like really thinking about the medium, thinking about who you're speaking to, you need to first take a step back and look at yourself. Meaning there's 3 drivers in the book. And I want our listeners to think about a triangle. On the left-hand side of the triangle is feedback. Get feedback. I'm talking real feedback, Bob,
and ask for it.
Ask for it. You got it. Send someone an email and say, someone that you can trust is going to tell you the truth. Would you respond to this email? What can I do? What's one thing I can do to be more impactful? What's one thing I need to stop doing because it's jeopardizing my reputation? On the right-hand side of the triangle is practice. Practice means deliberately practicing. Constantly thinking about your word choice before you send the email, constantly video recording yourself, audio recording yourself when perhaps you're facilitating a virtual conversation, a conference call. And finally, the bottom of the triangle, you need someone to be holding yourself accountable, because I'll guarantee through the day, you sprint through life, how many times do you really think about, I wonder how I'm coming across, I wonder what my messaging, my word choice is coming across in my email. Have someone check in with you weekly, monthly, to make sure that you're putting into action, how do you want to be constantly growing your influence?
That's your Research Business Daily Report, sponsored today and this week by Socratic Technologies, a true leader in survey gamification and other cutting-edge engagement capabilities and technologies. If you need a first-rate speaker for an upcoming corporate research meeting, I can recommend that you invite Socratic Chairman Bill MacElroy. And there are several reasons why. He will be coming in to talk to your modern engagement technique capabilities, helping you improve them, as well as your surveys that you send out to make them more interesting and entertaining. But why is this somebody you should invite? Well, first of all, he's a cracker speaker and terrific presenter, and also always has tremendous insights to share with you. And maybe best of all, from your point of view, he'll come and do it for free. So take advantage of the opportunity. You can get in touch with him. We have the email address in the box underneath today's video, and also a link that will explain the presentation that he will be making to your organization. That's your Research Business Daily Report. We hope you've had a great research day, that the rest of your research week goes well. Please enjoy the upcoming weekend, and we'll look forward to seeing you back here on Monday.